Thank you, Emery. I'm Janice Karcher from the Genesee Regional Chamber of Commerce. I do have a couple slides. Thank you. It's Brian, right? Justin. Thank you. The Genesee Regional Chamber, just as a note of background, is an unusual entity, and we often refer to it as a mega chamber. It's a merged entity of formerly 2 chambers of commerce, a CEO council, and a countywide economic development organization, and has now been charged by the County Board of Commissioners to also operate as a 4th strategic business unit, the local visitor and convention bureau. So the Flint community has committed very specifically to a centralized message on behalf of the community, one that resonates with audiences not only around the community and around the state, but around the world, and that unifies the community with the objective of jobs and economic growth. And so we're pleased to be serving in that role with much support from many partners, including foundations, private businesses, and our public partners. That said, we're really part of an alliance that I'd like to talk to you about today that is driven by 4 partners who work every day on creating new jobs in our community. And the most recent result of our collaboration is the formation of one of the newest Next Michigan Development Corporations, or Airtropolis has become the nickname. However, this one has a focus beyond airports, certainly considers airport and air freight opportunity, but also looks at the additional modes of transportation that are offered in our region. And before we switch slides, I just want to make a couple points about the focus of this group, very specifically on the growth of existing companies and also the leveraging of, sorry, we've got folks that can't see us, huh? Of sites and the workforce that exists within our region. Go ahead. Primary strategies of this objective are really focused on capturing freight volume. This region is a very interesting one when it comes to CN rail in particular. There are a significant number of freight rail cars that pass through our community, some coming from as far away as the Port of Halifax, that for the most part are destined for Chicago. Much of that content, according to some of Michigan's large industrial and commercial companies, includes volume of freight that ends up back in Michigan. So it comes through the state by rail, keeps going, goes all the way to Chicago, spends 2 or 3 days stuck in gridlock of load, unload, and then is trucked back 5 to 6 hours from Chicago. There's a real opportunity in our region because of this major CN line to identify freight that could actually benefit from a new opportunity to stop for load and unload that's closer to the users of this product. So that's one of our major strategies. And this will tie to some comments from Dan Casey. Can everyone hear me all right, or would the microphone help in the back? The microphone will help. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, big difference. Additionally, the opportunity to increase exports has not only become a national mantra, but it's certainly a regional priority for us, and really comes down to individual companies and their ability to leverage the market potential for their products. The application for Next Michigan, I don't know if many of you are familiar with this process. It requires the creation of an interlocal agreement, first of all. Can we bounce back to that first slide for just a moment, please? The interlocal agreement for this project involves 33 different municipal partners. Mayor Hollister claims that it could be the largest interlocal agreement in the state of Michigan's history. It comes with great benefit and complexity at the same time. And so it's one that we're proud of, that so many municipal partners have expressed enthusiasm to be part of this initiative. It becomes part of a larger overall regional strategy that gives our municipalities a chance to contribute in a small way in terms of expenses, but to also, by organizing together, deliver new incentives to this area for companies that are focused on using multiple modes of transportation. Okay, thank you. And then back to the market study that was also required for this application. The Upjohn Institute helped us with this piece of analysis and found that the region has the potential for creation of 18,000 new jobs. We're excited about that. These are value-added jobs. There is a projected multiplier of another roughly 20,000 jobs that can result in the community. And it's all based on promoting the assets of the region. I won't go into those in great detail because I expect that'll be part of what you'll hear from Dan Casey momentarily. Okay, I think we've got one or two more slides. There's a lot of enthusiastic support from partners beyond the municipalities. And that, as you might expect, includes private sector firms whose future growth could benefit from the incentives that are made available through this program. They also benefit from the export support, which we're now working together to help companies figure out, how do I piece together the new STEP program from the state, a new kind of export trading opportunity that the state's about to offer, the USIAC Export Assistance Center network, the cyber office at MSU. There are many pieces that companies can say yes or no to related to how they are aided in exporting. And what we find is that they often get confused and decide not to select any. And so part of our effort is to help companies understand strategically that, first of all, they have an economic development account manager who works with them on a regular basis from one of our 4 organizations, depending on where they're located. And it's our job to help them kind of be the traffic cop on whether it's time to work with cyber or USIAC or talk to STOP on the MEDC's team, and really capitalize on these export promotion opportunities. You can see from this diagram that we also have very strong support from infrastructure and transit partners, from other governmental entities, including our state delegation, from regional and global partners. This effort came about in large part because of the support we received from the Prima Civitas Foundation at Michigan State, and with direct involvement and support from Mayor Hollister as well as Jim Smirka. And then lastly, there's a very strong workforce development piece here. It's important that we leverage the significant institutions that exist along our corridor, great community colleges, great engineering schools, technology schools, and then partners that aren't in the region but are basically camping out in the region without a campus, if you will, in terms of MSU and others. And so we're proud of the kind of partnership behind the partnership that exists here. One more slide, please. Thank you. And then lastly, this is just an indication of the current municipal partners at the table. We're at 33. And actually, Shiawassee has 2 more waiting in the wings just to be welcomed in and added to the board. We have 2 more considering it now in Genesee County. And ultimately, we see motivation from them for just the sheer opportunity to contribute to an opportunity for the region. But also there's some real practical reasons in terms of recent challenges from this state administration. They need to show that they're collaborating regionally, that they're collaborating across municipal boundaries. And this is a very positive way to do that. It was an easy way for them to say yes and get started. And you know, much more work to be done. I think one of the lessons here is to get a core team that is comfortable working together. And we certainly feel like we have that among the 4 economic development partners. And fortunately, we have municipal partners that rely on us and trust us to the degree that we can put options together and present them, and they can react. But then lastly, there's a tremendous opportunity to position this entire region with more of a global scope. We promote ourselves individually, and quite often we don't make the radar screen because of size, because of the resources that we have individually. So we're very excited about the opportunity to communicate as a region. And with that, I'll pass it along to Rick.